Hey, hey. Look what we got today. It's been about a week, I think, roughly. And, oh, shuck of food. Been stirring on it. Look it in there now. There you go. It's about like some brownie mix or something. It ain't time for mud whittling yet. My bad. It ain't time. What you know, Snowballs? You know what time it is? You know what time it is, Snowballs? Huh, Snowballs? You know what time it is? I'll tell you what time it is, Snowballs. It's mud whittling time! Mud whittling! Mud whittling! Mud whittling time! Yeah, still just some goopy goo. Yeah, goop goop. And so we're going to try to bludgeon this stuff with, what's this, rebar. Fun time. Let's get out some aggression, folks. This is mud whittling. Can you say it with me? Mud whittling! This is mud whittling! Mud whittle, mud whittle, mud whittle, 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 mud whittle. Mud whittle, mud whittle. Get that mud good. Get it good. Get that mud. Go get that mud and the rocks and get the mud and the rocks and the mud and the rocks and the mud and the rocks and the mud and the mud with it. Yeah. Alright, back at it here. I got me a seat. I got feet. I got bucket and I got dirt. And I got my rebar. And we're going to beat on this for a minute here. This ought to be entertaining. So, you just kind of beat on it nice and good. She starts coming pretty good like. You see that? And it just goes right on down. And all we're basically doing again, we're going to try to be making some cat litter. This time, we're going to screen off the litter dry. And what you get is all that little bitty fine powder. It's dusty. I'm doing this outdoors. I don't recommend it doing indoors. Teach would probably cringe if since I don't got a mask on, because, well, I already kind of got respiratory problems from smoking tobacco. But yeah, this gets dusty, and when we go to sifting it and stuff, the powder and getting the chunks off, it gets pretty dusty. So yeah, fun times here on Mud Whittling. Wampa jack jack, jack jack, jack you. All right, here we go. We're gonna peck. Woodpecking. We're woodpecking a little bit. Clay pecking. But yeah, I was just thinking about what to use on this, and I've got some stones. But yeah, let's see. I'll switch hands. But yeah, we just like to peck on it good. Oh, there's a rock. I pissed on that rock. See, rock. That ain't no good. That's just not going to be good. But we're gonna break this on down. This is some clay, gray clay that the boys dug out the other day. They're digging a new basement for the pear tree inn and stuff. And by George's like, hey, I think I can do something with that bulljank. So here I is. I'm gonna try to do something with this bulljank. I think I started with too much in the clay bucket. I'm gonna take some out. Let's see if we can do that. Yeah, I piss on trying to take it out. Well, I forgot you can do. You can just kind of shake it. And the philosophy is, when shaking the big rock, it comes to the top. And all the little rocks that go to the bottom. And that's some deep philosophy, y'all. Right there for sure. But here's it in action. And you just shake it. You shake all the fines. You get these big ass chunks. And that's what we want to get out of there for the moment. So we're just going to do up in there. I was starting to dig. And I was like, wait a sec. All I gotta do is like shake that bucket, and boom, I got the big chunks And now we're getting it cleared out. We'll come process that here in a second here. Oh, yeah. Oh, there's a big chunk. We'll get some this lure stuff in there. I want to get some. Oh, that's fun. I want to get some of this fine powder after I get it sifted off and get some of this goo from the other bucket. And I'll show you how to mix the ratio. We'll get some instant clay. That's what we're going to shoot for. Okay, bye, George. He's impatient. Arr. Mud whittling. But yeah, it's more or less cat litter. You gotta kind of know it's gonna be goody good. This one has a shit ton of rock in it. Damn, I should have been better on that. But meh, we're just gonna get the very finest powder anyway, so all them rocks are gonna sift out on our screen hopefully. And you never know, when you go fresh clay out here, you might find crystals or fossils. That's what I find around these parts. I'm in Starter County. Yeah, so we'll see what we can find. They used to be underwater. So all kinds of little rocks. There's a little pile of rocks right there. See my little rocks? One of my little pile of rocks. Alright, next round. Well, Poopyville, I put a little crack in my bucket. Oh, we got this here thing rock chunk right here, and we're going to just lightly but assertively just kind of pack it down in there. And every time it hits the clay and jank, it's kicking up one side like that. And we're just going to beat on it a little bit, like try and get them other chunks down, get some more powdered up. And then we're going to try and get some of these rocks and bigger pieces all filtered off until we get just nice fine powder. Yep, some gray dirt mud powder that's dry. And once you get this powder, you can put it in a bag. And then you got some like instant powder, magic powder, clay powder form to throw on your slip and have some just instant freaking clay, the consistency you desire, without having to wait for it. So a little bit of process to make these little goodies up. But once you got them, they're very time efficient, and you can, Cracker Jacks. Cracker Jacks. This is a cheap old bucket, Cracker Jacks. So, yeah, we're getting some powder now. You knows it. And this is also pretty therapeutic. I will say that. I'm all about stress releaseful, leaving stuff and simple and not having to pay an arm and leg and for trying to correct your mental health and shit. I think I heavily believe in therapy and actual trained professionals, but I think there's also just nice practical methods that are missing out people's daily routines, like beating on shit, that could actually improve or lessen the stress in a person's life, and therefore even, I mean, that puts years on people. So I'd say a regular routine of beating on shit, yeah, that might make a fun series. Shit to beat on, how to beat on them, and stuff to beat on it with. Rock, clay, bucket, get the beating. On mud whittling, we beating that clay. Don't let them know. Just don't let them know. Shit. Dumb muddling. Dumb muddling. Here's a pile of clay. There's some more rocks. Dang. Mud whittling. A little dry fashion today. Son of a bitch. I'm beating shit. Yep. There needs to be a little more of that on inanimate objects. Inanimate objects could definitely take more beatings. Don't beat on people or children or pets. Just beat on inanimate objects and things and make it work. And make beauty from it. Holy Moses. Woo. Alright, that's good. Mud Whittling. 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 So, you know, all this emphasis on, seems like I ain't really doing anything as far as ceramics go. Like, there's pottery shows and making fancy glazes and stuff, and that's all nice and dandy, and there's all kinds of people doing that. They're showing that, and you can find that out there on the internet and such like, all that such. But for me, messing with clay here recently, it's pretty much, well, it's I think being an artist and being a creator, there's some good little rockies. Rocky, roll. Step getting a little bigger. And, really, it's gotten kind of religious for me. On the aspect of it is being an artist. It's sort of practicing being a creator, and practicing being a creator. If whatever made all this jazz has got creator patterns, then being a creator probably gives you a pretty good. What is that? You gotta walk a mile in another person's shoes kind of aspect of things, even for God. If you really want to know the nut cuts of this existence and such, yeah, you can start getting other perspectives than yourself, than what your own 2 feet are giving you. Then you get your mind a little bit wide and open without even having to do any funky stuff. So for me, clay, I've been in it for all my life, and it's even in the Bible. And I always kind of wondered why I was in the Bible. I went out to Porter's, out there where we fire and such, and ended up learning all kinds about the kiln and wood kiln firing and high firing and such. But right now I'm kind of back to the very fundamental basics of purifying the clay. There's something being very, very, very critical about purifying this clay so you can get the more rocks. Well, it's kind of a nice round pebble. Going pile. But there's something very extremely important here. There's a very valuable lesson that I think in today's now a world of hoopla and new aging and all kinds of wild chakras and rainbows and saints and serpents and all kinds of hoopla. I think you need to take time and get back to your roots on things. That's where I try to do things from scratch. Even come up with wild ideas. Just do it from scratch like our ancestors would have. And our ancestors back in the day, they weren't distracted by everything. So pretty much to get that perspective, you got to kind of remove yourself and pretty much hermitize and shoot. I ain't got running water in my trailer. There's no running water. I've lived without running water. And, yeah. And I do, hell, I think down in Austin, I drove probably almost 10 miles to a spring. I had to park my car and walk about 100 yards to a spring in Austin just to get my drinking water on the regular. Thank goodness I knew where a good spring was at and had good, fresh, clean water, thank Lord. But regardless, I've noticed in a lot of like Reiki and energy work, claiming, healing and stuff, and I sincerely want to be a healer. I grew up in church watching preachers trying to heal people in wheelchairs and all kind of hoopla. And I sincerely wanted to see them get out of the damn wheelchair. I did. I thought that'd be cool as shit to see that. Or hear about the different miracles and such. So I wanted to know how that shit happens. And one of the things I'm finding out here, all these healers in the New Age and stuff, and maybe a good reason why clay and potter's houses in the Bible, outside of like all the broken people get out in the potter's field and stuff, is that having a ceramics background really pertains to how the inner workings of whatever our ancestors are trying to pass down to us through our various different religions. Each culture has figured out something, probably, and it turned into religion. It's pretty much a science of a culture's intangible knowledge of existence, and therefore should be highly coveted as pretty well valid science that every culture's ancestors have put in the time and effort and passed down orally at start, and then wrote it down and put it on clay tablets, and then fucking hell, even some cultures make gold tablets because they was really smart about gold and stuff. Shucks. So for me right now, though, the reason why I'm rambling on all this jazz and showing me just picking rocks out of this looks like cat litter is it's very, very important to purify this clay. With the rocks in it, big and small, they're just troublesome. They're just troublesome. I ain't finding too many roots. Oh, I said a root. There's a little baby root. Baby root, hair root. And baby hair root. We'll put the baby hair root on the rock right there. Baby hair root. Alright, so we're purifying this jazz, right? And we know when it's wet, I've had grog problems. And, well, but mainly when you go to fire this, no matter what masterpiece and however hours you spend on a project with clay, if you got trash up in your shit, it's gonna blow the fuck up and blow up on everybody's stuff in the kiln or wherever, however you're gonna fire it, but it ain't gonna fire. It ain't gonna take the firing. It's gonna blow up. So, what I'm wondering here is this. If people and clay and shoot, even like I'm theorizing the balls above the Egyptian gods, and if you follow the ball above the head in ancient cultures, you'll find that I don't know. I'm wondering if it ain't just like electric clay, to where it's like electricity, but it's malleable and be turned back into matter state. For me, I had an experience in a dream to where I used the clay, like electric clay, and did some funky stuff. I'll talk about that later. But going back to the Reiki and the energy healers and stuff like that, some of them, I'm sure they bless they say, oh, I'll make this energy ball. I make this energy ball with my hands. Well, I'll make it. Well, guess what? I make clay balls. And pretty much they follow the same premise. I mean, the same patterns of how they operate and what it takes to actually shape and form one or the other. So, what I'm wondering is this. Why people aren't getting healed from preacher men laying hands on Reiki, if they get healed and then it don't stay, and then they're about a month later, they're right back to where they was. Either the practitioner, I'm theorizing, a lot of times the patient will relapse into patterns that caused the issue in the first place. I do get that. And for practitioners that have to deal with that, that would suck. To be trying to heal people and then they just go back and just keep on doing what they did. And they didn't even fucking regard what you just did for them. That would blow ass. So any doctors out there that are dealing with, I'm a smoker. I ain't really got all like that. I need to quit, shucks. But yeah. Patients, take your doctor's advice. They really are trying to help you and heal you the best they know. And until I get them up to par even better, work with them. Tell them your case history. Tell them anything and everything that you've done that could have damaged you, so they can actually diagnose you properly. That's just sound. And thank you, doctors. I sometimes are kind of like get a little rough on maybe on thinking about y'all's, but no, y'all really do care too. Ones that do. If you don't, you're cocksuckers, and you need to like repent and stuff probably. But what I'm looking at, I'm wondering why these miracles aren't really keeping. Look at that, there's a little perfect little triangles. That's a little trinity. Trendy rock, trendy rock. But I'm wondering why these miracles aren't keeping, and everybody's getting called a con man, and they're taking tithe money or practitioner money, and patients are giving bad reviews, or even if not to the face, but in public, like, it's bullshit, you know? And I mean, they feel good one minute and they don't. They can't explain it, you know, but it don't stick, you know? So they might as well go to the hack and slash doctors, you know? So, oh, it's also a heart. For anybody who's into that jazzaboo. But they end up, it don't keep. The miracle don't keep, that healing don't stick. And I'm wondering if the electric clay that they're using to try to patch up the person isn't doing the same thing clay's doing if it isn't properly, purified. If for me, I had to run the clay from just taking and getting a total body buzz into the rainbow transformers. They're electric transformers, just like you take electric from the dam raw and you run it all the way until you get it to where it won't blow your cell phone up when you charge it. It's a series of stepping it down and refining it until it's good electric and it won't blow up your stuff. It has to go through a lot of processes to go from the hydroelectric dam to your phone. So the body has the same things going on inside of it as far as electrical systems going. And mechanically speaking, I ain't talking no hoodoos and stuff. The Chinese are actually probably one of the most advanced people on the planet on this subject, and which is surprisingly why I'm kind of really needing to be friendly with them. Between I want to go over there and mess around with some porcelain and actually meet their Qigong. Qigong, I'm getting close pronunciation, probably always pronounce it wrong, but still, I'd like to meet their practitioners and study and compare notes and theorize and all that jazz if they'd like, and actually improve the system, not for just the Chinese, but for every fucking body on the planet. Everybody human could benefit from this, and if we can get to laying on hands as a common practice for healing, that's my healthcare system I'm proposing for the whole globe. It's Jedi Jesus's, honestly. And I'm thinking pretty much anybody with a ceramic background has a damn good prerequisite information and starter to actually be a Jedi Jesus. That's why I'm also following a lot of ceramicists on Instagrammers and trying to inspire people to be more into clay. Because, by George, it's actually pretty dang religious in a sense. It may be just the key, right trick key, to actually utilizing your human potential, divine potential, jazzaboo like that. But yeah, we're taking this clay game, and it's going to translate into working electric clay, hopefully in later little mud whittling shows. We'll call that electric whittling. When Pancho Jesus teaches electric whittling, you know shit's gone right. Pancho Jesus teaches electric whittling. Electric whittling. Oh gang, what a ride we in for. But anyways, just today though, we're just focusing on mud whittling. And I had a funny side note. I was poking around on some artists on Instagram and ended up seeing this one style of making pottery, and I looked at it, and all you do is start with the ball, and you take like a tool and you start carving away and carving out, making it hollow. And I'm like, I'll be damned. That's real mud whittling, some bitch. So I gotta do a little thing on that. We'll probably try to make a piece that way, because I don't know if I ever made really a piece this way. I've always just pinch potteried it or coil, or just slap it on and kind of sculpt it. So it'll be interesting. Oh wait, what am I doing? All right, these medium-sized chunks, that's kind of about like cat litter and jazz, that we'll skim off. They're going to be great for another project. We're going to save those little bits and pieces and try to keep for these like little globby textural monoliths I like to make. And I like to take some green broken bisque, not bisque, but burnished pieces that are cracked and stick in them into these monoliths that are all like cat litter looking, and it's really good textural contrast between like these really slick, from the burnishing, and like cat litter texture. And so it's these monoliths, and they kind of look like dominoes with, like, I don't know. Hopefully it'll turn out cool. We'll make some. It'll be a minute yet, but yeah, cat litter texture, domino things, monoliths, knickknackers. Teach. What's her name? Nicole Day Pottery, I think, on Instagram. She makes it, like, she called them pause forms, which sounds gravy to me. So, little pause forms, things that knickknacks you put in your house that make you pause and, like, stare at, take a moment. And it's good to stop and take a moment. I try to teach about being a turtle power, and turtle living philosophy, because I think it's the most winning philosophy. It's about pacing your life, and according to the story, the turtle, he finished first. He started off last. But by George, if he didn't just like pick and pack and peck until, by George, he was first. Boy, howdy. So, try to adopt the turtle philosophy. Check it out. It's good jazz. Luckily, my Boy Scout troop, it was a pet away, and it's like Indian turtle or something. So, I was into it way early on. So, good jazz. Actually, a good note of Boy Scouting. So, yay. Hey for that. It worked for some people. It wasn't all just craziness. So, yeah. Idea is purify it so it don't blow up in your face. And you get an angry mob saying you're a con man. I think someone might need to hear that. I'm the real deal. That's how I know, though. I'm breaking balls every day. Busting your balls. Mud whittling, mud whittling. Mud whittling, mud whittling. Get a good one. Oh, here we go. Double screening. So I found this big old screen thing from Fire Pit Stuff, I'm thinking. Some kind of fire pit screen thing at a campsite, at a festival. I'm like, hey, I can make a big platter. That's a big platter slump, man. No snowball. Snowball's going hyperactive. I can make a nice little, like a big old platter, and that could be the slump. Another good thing for platters is a disc wheel, a disc blade. You can put for a slump mold, and it makes good platters for that. We're going to take that dry clay and try dumping it in their bucket. Or take that dry clay and put it in the bucket. Where there's a snowball. There's snowballs in the Kelsey. Snowballs in the Kelsey. She wanted sips. Get your sips. There's your sips. Ah! There she is. There's a snowball. That's the snowballs. That's the snowballs. Get some sips. That's a good sweetie pie. There you go. Put the bucket out of the way. So I think I'm going to scoop. You don't like them buckets. You don't like the buckets, baby. Oh, she don't like the buckets. You don't like them buckets. There you go. Get down there in the grass. You gonna get in the grass? Alright, so we're gonna load this stuff up and do some mashing. It's a little wet in there, so I'm gonna get her not wet, and we're gonna come back after it. MUDD whittling, MUDD whittling, MUDD whittling, MUDD whittling, MUDD whittling. Sippy sips. Well, I mashed on it with my Smash-O-Matic 5000 block, and then I dumped what I had, smash kit there on top. I got some, see all that fine right there? We're just gonna try to get as much as that we can get. We just won't get the fine. We won't have some fine magic powder to make that goo bucket not so gooey. You're on MUDD whittling. That's all fine. Dun dun dun. So what we do is run out of power, looking like. Yay.